by you. I'll be your everything, your blue sky. I go to war, fight. Damn right. Even when I've left, I do right.
Welcome back to the Professional Stepdad Show. I'm your host, Franco Zavala. Thank you very much for joining me. This is episode 133 of the show. Today is Facebook comments and questions. I'm going to be going through a few of them, answering them, giving you my perspective, some advice, some ideas, and then, yeah, that's it. These are pretty fun because they come from both angles, stepmoms and stepdads. And so it really does a good job at kind of covering the full spectrum of step parenting in general. So let's jump right into it, shall we? All right, first one. So again, one of the things I want you guys to know is I don't reveal names on here, nor do I post them or have them up anywhere because people are stupid. Meaning, like, I could post their names up and then people will find them, or maybe like the bio parent finds them and then they start harassing them because they ask a question. There's so many different things that go down that I don't want to be responsible for causing any sort of discomfort or stress on anyone that took the time to leave comments or questions. Okay, so the first one is going to be stepmom. She says, "What does a step parent do? Because my stepdaughter told me my name is just Amy, not even her stepmom. So I just want to clarify, what do step parents do in this situation?" So this is what she means. What she's saying is that her her stepdaughter says, your name is Amy. That's it. You're not my stepmom. You're not my real mom. You're Amy. What is a step parent supposed to do in this situation? Okay, so first question I have for you is, what do you mean? What the hell are you talking about? Like, what do you mean? What are you supposed to do? Is your name Amy? Then their name's Amy. Your objective within your blended family shouldn't be to try to gain some sort of a title. Like, does it make you feel better about yourself and about where you are and your position in that family to be known as the stepmom or mom? I'm confused a little bit because I'm trying to figure out, like, what is the reason for the recognition that you're seeking? Like, why do you need to be known as stepmom? I've said this 100 times. Kids are fucking mean, especially as they get older. They are mean if they haven't been taught the proper way of learning to communicate with the new parent in the house. And you can't take it personal. Like, remember, Amy, this has nothing to do with you. If she wants to call you Amy, then let her call you Amy. At least she's not referring to you as like the other woman or that girl or my dad's new thing. I mean, there's so many worse names and phrases that can be used to describe you that aren't. She's at least referring to you by your name, not stepmom, your name. Give you an example. My two oldest kids, one is 22, one is 19, both in college, been in their life for 13 years, and they both call me Franco. They don't call, when they refer to me and other people, sure, I'm dad, or that's my stepdad. But either way, I don't give a shit about the titles. Dad, stepdad, Franco, him. It doesn't bother me at all. And the reason it doesn't bother me is because I'm not seeking some sort of approval or some sort of a name stamp from the kids ever. What I'm constantly seeking is growth. What I'm constantly seeking is a relationship with my partner that will be strong. So when the kids do move out and they move away and they graduate from your home, that your relationship together is strong. It's something that is overseen a lot. As step parents, we struggle so much to try to like develop these relationships with our children and with the kids, and like trying to balance, like when they go to bio parents' house and back, that we forget to remember that when everything settles, when all the dust settles and everybody leaves, it is you and your partner. And if you haven't taken the time to care about that relationship, it's gonna be a tough road. So Amy, your name is Amy. Don't give a shit about the title that you get. Who cares if she refers to you as stepmom, mom, the other, all that stuff. It could always be worse, and it's not that worse. So kind of move on from it. It's work a little bit harder on yourself. Try to figure out why does it bother you so much? Why do you need? that recognition from a kid of all things. You don't give a shit about that. The question you have to ask yourself is, do you feel like you belong there? Yes? Great. Keep moving forward. Push away all the little tedious small things that really are not going to have any reflection on how you're going to be a parent and how you're going to be a leader within your blended family. All right. Next question. Here we go. Sorry, and down. Okay. I really just don't like being a stepmom. I get nothing positive from it. Everything is my fault. How do I quit when they live in my house? I'm the only constant person in their life that actually is parenting. Okay. Well, if okay, this is a tough one, right? Because they live in your house and you don't want to be there. And you're on social media venting about it. Again, this is the question I have for you. What if your partner sees this? He's going to think that you don't want him there. Instead of coming on social media, and again, venting is fine, but instead of coming on social media and saying something along the lines of this, why not sit down with your partner and talk to him about it? I'm going to take a stab in the dark here and just say that the communication that you and your partner have it's almost non-existent. You guys haven't taken the time to learn each other's love languages, and you don't know how to communicate with one another. And because of that, you come on here and you're venting about like the fact that you hate being a stepmom. You want everybody out, but they can't because they live in your home. And that all stems from all the work you did not do when you first began your journey as a step parent. So what I would recommend is that you take a moment, take a step back, maybe take a notepad out and write down like a pros and cons list about, first, why are you in your situation? Why have you entered into your blended family? What was the reason you're there? We all come into our blended family for a reason. Mine's my wife. She's my why. My why is my wife. My relationship with my wife is my why. The children that I parent, and all 5 of them, they are so incredibly important to me, but they come second to the relationship I have with myself and with my partner. So that is my why. So what is your why? Why are you there? What put you there in the first place? And then ask yourself, why am I so uncomfortable to talk to my partner about this? You say it yourself, I'm the only one that's constant when it comes to actual parenting. In which way? Because a parent, imagine your kid saying something like this to you, about like being in a club or being on a team. They hate being on the team. They don't want to be there, but they started the team. Maybe they started a club but they want everybody out. What would you tell them? What's the advice that you would give them? A great exercise to do is this: write down your question and then answer the question like you're the one giving the advice. And then whatever you get out of that, it might be even a little bit, start to build on that. But I would recommend, instead of coming in here and pretty much like announcing you want everybody the hell out of your house, I would recommend you delete this post, take a step back, and then go have a real conversation with your partner, with yourself. Maybe get somebody like a neutral party? Yeah. A neutral party to kind of be the go-between between you and your partner so that you can come to a conclusion. Because at the end of the day, this post is going to lead to crazy resentment, which is going to lead to anger and frustration. And then the kids are going to get hurt. You're going to get hurt. I know you think you're strong in this scenario, but you're not. You're going to get hurt. So try to guard your heart a little bit. Maybe, like I said, write it down. Write down this question and answer it as if you were the one giving the advice. Let me know too. All right, next question. Okay, here we go. So I hate being a stepmom today. I really can't stand my 19-year-old. I really can't stand my 19-year-old entitled kid. They have zero clue about life and zero respect or understanding that their constant bullshit and drama is draining on the parents, especially when there is no reprieve. How am I supposed to love and care about people who just don't give a fuck about anyone else? Answer, unconditionally. I guarantee you have other people in your life that are adults that act like this and you still love them. Maybe it was your parents, maybe it was your grandparents, maybe it's a high school friend. But to say that you hate being a stepmom today just because the kids feel entitled to what? So that is going to come from parenting. And is it coming from the bio parent side? Is it coming from your side? Is it coming from the game plan that you and your partner have when the kids are with you? Or is it being poisoned when they leave the house and go stay with bio mom, right? Or whomever they stay with. So one of the reasons that it feels like you're not making a lot of progress and it feels like the kids are entitled is because you have to get to a point where, and this is just my advice, but they feel entitled because you're allowing outside circumstances and what they're learning outside of the four walls of your home to come into the house, and then you're feeding into that negativity, into that entitlement, etc. What standards have you set for your house? What standards have you set for yourself? What standards have you and your partner set for the parenting game plan? Are you going at it 50-50? Like, all right, can you handle the problems together as a team? If the kids feel entitled, if you feel like the kids are entitled, why are you comparing it to the way you were raised? I have that same problem. I didn't come from a very rich family. I didn't come from a big home. And now that I'm older and I've got kids, I've got a little bit of a bigger home and a couple nicer things. And for the longest time, I felt like I wasn't worthy of where I was at. And then I felt like, I didn't want to give my kids too much because I wanted to make them earn their spot in this world because that's what I had to do. And that was just fucking stupid. I mean, we work hard as parents so that our kids can enjoy a life that is better than what we had. We instill certain values within them so they know to stay grounded, to be humble, to be outward focused, to be loving, to be confident, to stand up for themselves. We teach them these things, but we also want to create a better life for them. So feeling a sense of entitlement is more of something that you're laying on them. You're looking at the situation, you're looking at how they're reacting and acting, and then you think that they're entitled because you're comparing it to how you were and how you were raised, and that's just wrong. Protect the four walls of your home, protect your brain, protect your partnership. Make sure that you and your partner are attacking this full force, but as a team, not individually. So I'm sure that if you just take a step back, you'll realize that I don't think they're entitled. I think that they are just not giving you the responses or satisfaction that you feel like you deserve because of things that you're doing or things that you've given them, and maybe you feel like you need to take it back. Or again, they could have a Disneyland mom. They could leave the house and their mom lets them get away with murder, do anything. They get all the nicest phones. They have the nicest cars. They have all this stuff. That doesn't mean that you can't teach them through your core values and standards how to be a functioning adult that is, all the things I said before, outward focused, loving, caring, all that stuff. So don't worry about them. Don't look at it as an entitlement. Look at it as, why do I feel like they're entitled? Take a step back, reverse engineer this feeling that you're having and you'll get your answer. I promise. All right, everybody, last question. Just when I think I mastered the Nacho Parenting is an episode I did, if you guys haven't watched it. By the way, I'm going to be on a podcast with the individuals who created Nachoing. I want to make sure I'm always forthcoming in the way I handle, especially interviews because I didn't say anything nice about the Nacho parenting method at all. And they want to talk to me about it. And I'm sure they want to defend their stance on why they think Nachoing works. And I'm not saying that Nachoing doesn't work. That's not what I'm saying. For some people who don't want responsibility, who don't want to have any sense of responsibility as a parent, Nachoing works perfectly for them. And that's how it's going to be. And I can't change their mind on that. The way I saw Nachoing is the way I saw it, which is a coward's way out. Period. So this person says, just when I think that I have mastered the Nacho, a day like today happens where my stepson, 11-year-old stepson, gives nothing but disrespect, and I just end up being stuck in my bedroom all day with the dog. It's so frustrating. I just want to give up. So let me ask you this, stepdad. you're frustrated because you decided to be a hands-off parent. Not my kids, not my problems. That's what nacho means. You're frustrated and they're giving you disrespect. But remember, you can't discipline. You have no say in it because you've given all the power to somebody else and you have zero say. You're just the person in the home. And yeah, sure, they're going to respect you because you're an adult. But remember, you're a nacho parent, not your kids, not your problems, not your responsibility. You're not going to, you're not going to even put your toe in the water of whatever that problem may be. And then you're frustrated that you have to stay in your bedroom all day with the dog. Dude, you did it to yourself. You chose to say, I don't want to take care, I don't want to handle this. No, that's your kid, you handle it. You do. Well, and then the kid's being disrespectful. What do? Do you look at mom? They're being disrespectful for me and I can't say anything to them, so I need you to say something to them. And maybe mom wasn't in that situation or she wasn't there. So she's like, are you sure? Maybe you're just taking it too personal. You're like, no, they're being disrespectful to me. And she's like, well, I wasn't there, but I'll talk to him. And then that's a never-ending story, a recurring cycle that happens, and you find yourself living in your bedroom with the dog. And that is not what you want to do, man. So it's hard for me to feel sorry for you about sitting in your room, but because you did it to yourself. That's all self-inflicted. You and your partner decided that you were going to give all responsibility to one side of the aisle and take none on your side. And then you're complaining when it's not going your way. I don't think I need to say anymore. So, all right. That was fun. All right, guys, that was episode 133 of the show. Thank you very much. I'm so happy, blessed, and grateful for each and every one of you. Thank you for stopping by, and I will talk to you soon. Hey, thanks for listening to the show. Listen, if you know a stepdad who is in need of any of this information, do me a favor right now. Hit that subscribe button and share this episode with them as fast as possible. Did you do it? Okay, you did it.
Quiet on the set, please. Thank you, everybody.